We have reached the end. The final piece to my puzzle is within your grasp. 2 GDI bases rest on ground I have chosen to be the cradle of my temple. Remove them in any way you can.
Yes, sir.
Welcome back, Commander,
Yes, sir.
to the ultimate level of the Nod Camp.
Moving out. Unit affirmative. Yes, affirmative.
It shouldn't come as a surprise that evil megalomaniac cult leader slash like religiously crazy person has the idea to build a temple named after the group he is the leader of.
Building.
Unit reporting.
Anymore, and he's gonna start like asking for donations and stuff from us.
Unit reporting. Affirmative. Reporting. Yes, sir.
Now, I should point out, this mission gave me some trouble. Mostly because, again, I wasn't really following
Building.
the, I don't want to say rules, but like how the game wants you to play, I guess. So first off, it does the very nasty trick of floating some gunboats north and south of your base,
Unit moving out.
but it also will do some, I don't want to say nasty in particular, but it'll do some other like annoying things for you.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Moving out. Unit moving out. Yes, acknowledged. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Moving out. Yes, sir. Moving out. Unit affirmative. 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 Vehicle moving out. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Moving out. Moving out. Moving out. Moving out. Yes, sir.
I hate the fact that there are units with such low like sight cones or sight radius, whatever you want to call it, that it's just like
Acknowledged.
I can just barely see the tip of the base. Just stop teasing me and showing me what's across. Just show me what's across the dang wall. Also, why would you have a wall there? It's a cliff face. Come on, jerks.
Vehicle reported. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Yes, affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Construction complete. Building.
Moving out. Unit moving out. Unit moving out. Moving out. Acknowledged.
Lost.
Ready and waiting out. You got it.
Our base is under attack.
Unit moving out.
Yeah, so if it wasn't bad enough, like if you just put down your MCV, you're just really close to losing it.
Yes, sir.
On hold. Cancel.
Like, oops.
Affirmative.
Like, what are you supposed to do? And thankfully, I don't know, the gunboat like stopped attacking it or something, and now the AI is like,
Moving out.
power plant. That's the target to go for.
Yes, sir.
And you know what? I'm not complaining. I'm thankful on the inside.
New
I just,
construction options.
at the same time, I want to know
Building.
why.
Unit ready.
Unit reporting. Yes, sir. Right away, sir. You got. Yes,
And obviously, you know, light tank's gonna lose to like
moving out.
3 grenadiers because they just are amazing at scattering.
Yes, yes, you. Yes, moving out. Yes, right away, sir.
Construction complete. Building.
So it's a little weird for in terms of like placement,
Building.
but the only reason I'm getting turrets is because one, much cheaper than Obelisk of Light,
Moving out.
and I just need something that will take out the gunboat. And frankly,
Yes, sir.
looking at the map right now, Obelisk of Light on like the northern side probably isn't the smartest of options for me.
Construction complete. Building. Building.
Boy, it's gonna be fun when A10s come in here and just like absolutely murder my entire base.
Moving out. Yes, sir.
Reaching out into other worlds.
Acknowledge.
The world.
Construction complete. Cannot deploy here. Cannot deploy here.
No, acknowledge. Reporting. Affirmative. Unit reporting. Unit. Affirmative. Yes, yes, sir. Waiting. Moving out. Affirmative. Affirmative.
I think I'm just gonna put it out there that while I generally enjoy the music to the Command & Conquer games, for this game in particular, I really don't like
Ready, moving out.
that
Waiting
last
order.
song.
Affirmative. Reporting. Right away, sir.
I don't know what it
Waiting
is.
Unit lost.
Yes, knowledge.
Also, really, Flamethrower loses to 2 Grenadiers. It just makes me sick.
Unit reporting.
But yeah, I
Construction complete.
think it's interesting to
New construction options. Building.
learn like what people take away from the various like music in the game. But in terms of like nobody ever really talks about like the worst, or maybe not worst, because that's such a strong word when like it's not that the music is bad, it's that it's not my taste. I think it might just be like the audio samples that I don't like. Anyway, so far this mission is
Complete.
straightforward, but it's gonna throw us a curveball real soon. I just have to find myself in a nice place where I can actually like start building our forces a little bit. And the fact that I'm really worried that this gunboat is just gonna suddenly like sprout an extra 13 cannons and just, you know, mulch my stuff kind of has me on edge.
Construction complete.
It's really gonna piss me off when it turns out that it's like when one gunboat just goes, yeah, I'm not gonna bother attacking anymore. That's annoying.
Unit reporting. Yes, sir. Awaiting orders.
Then again, maybe if I had lost like this early, I would have just said, oh, okay, I'm just gonna rebuild my base, but not in the same dumb place as I did for the first time.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it might be obvious that, like, I don't do practice runs.
Moving out.
I just play a level the first time, see where it takes me, and if I do, like, a really terrible job, or, like, if I lose, like, way too many forces, if I haven't done, like, a mid-level save, then, yeah, I'll just, like, restart.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Which, again, like, comes back to what I said in the previous video, which is, like, the game kind of punishes you for not knowing what the map looks like. Like, right now, there's 4 Tiberium fields, and I see 1 Blossom tree.
Construction
How am I
complete.
supposed to, like,
New construction.
feed the... like, my war machine,
Building.
quote-unquote, with, like, enough units to take out an enemy base? Because I don't know what's in there. And I'm not wasting my light tanks just to try and figure that one out.
I can't control it. It's not good. It doesn't look good.
Ready and waiting. Roger. Affirmative. Moving out. Reporting. Moving out.
Construction complete. Building.
Yes, sir. Vehicle reporting. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Yes, sir.
Reinforcements
Moving out.
have arrived.
Waiting orders. Moving out. Waiting orders.
So, as with most of the missions, now that I have the A10... Oh, sorry. Stealth tank. What a Freudian slip.
Our base is under attack. Low power.
Alright, so I think at this point it's pretty safe to assume that A10s are going to be coming from the 4 o'clock and 2 o'clock.
Unit reporting out.
Whether this is a function of GDI being on the right side of the map in terms of like base position,
Moving out. Yes, sir.
I don't know.
Waiting orders. Moving out.
Probably one of those things that it's safe to assume, but
Acknowledged.
either way.
Yes, sir. Moving out. Moving out. Yes,
Oh,
sir.
and if somebody can decode the special message in the unit placement there on the left, feel free to let me know.
Vehicle reporting. Waiting.
Construction
The only hint I can give you is that it does not spell help.
Building.
Yes, sir.
Fortunately for the GDI, that's something that I need.
Reinforcements
Yes,
have arrived.
affirmative. Unit reporting.
I don't know why I wanted to know what the name of that unit was. It's not like I can forget about the light tanks.
Yes, sir.
On hold. Cancelled.
For various reasons.
Unit reporting. Moving out.
I also, like,
Construction
looking back on this, I'm kind of thinking to myself, like, why the heck did I go through the entire, like, all this trouble just to repair a light tank?
Reinforcements have
Waiting.
arrived.
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Building.
Like, maybe it's some excuse to just, like, oh, I'll get more funds and then buy, you know, flame tanks, but,
Unit reporting.
man, light tanks just... I should have just blitzed this, like, sooner with 2 flame tanks.
Yes, sir. Moving out. Moving out. Yes, sir. Affirmative.
I guess in a way that kind of spoils it, though. It's like if you played,
Yes, sir.
like, RTS with a strategy guide, like, but for your first time. See, look at this.
Building.
Guard Tower had no chance.
Affirmative. Moving out. Acknowledged. Yes, moving out.
Construction complete.
Acknowledged.
So, the smartest thing you can do, and if you're gonna play this yourself, capture those silos. Don't destroy good resources.
Vehicle moving out. Yes, sir.
Like, you're really gonna need it.
Affirmative.
Also, look at this tower placement. That's just mean.
Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Building.
Reporting. Unit. Vehicle affirmative. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Unit ready.
Just so pretty sometimes to see so many units explode at the same time.
Reporting. Right away, sir. Yes, unit reporting. Yes, sir. Yes, affirmative. Yes, affirmative. Yes, yes, sir. Waiting orders.
Building.
The only thing that sucks is that, as with flamethrower units, flame tanks can't hurt themselves. So you kind of just have to hope that the pathfinding doesn't screw you over. You know, like every other time the pathfinding might screw you over.
Unit reporting. You acknowledge. Yes, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Unit reporting.
Unit ready. Building.
Ready and waiting. Right away, sir. Yes, sir.
Building. On hold.
Yeah, at this point I have funds and it's like, screw it. I don't want to wait for engineers to take forever to walk the map.
Primary building selected.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Moving out. Unit reporting. Affirmative. Awaiting affirmative. Yes, sir. Moving out. Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
Now, at first you might say, well, why don't I destroy those helicopters? And the answer is simple.
You got it.
Building.
That is the only way to
Unit
progress.
Waiting order. Roger.
Building.
Like, honestly, it's the only way to progress.
GDI building.
If you destroy those,
GDI
you
building.
you gotta restart. There's no way around
Yes,
it.
sir. Yes, sir.
Um, I don't want to say
Unit
this
ready.
game
Building.
is tricky in any sense. It's just it's kind of rude when it does this to you.
building. Captured.
Because like
On hold.
if you don't know that, you're dead. Like you set yourself up for
GDI
failure.
building. Captured.
Vehicle reporting.
Building.
Oh, and one should also keep in mind that helicopters cannot transport
Construction
vehicles.
complete.
So
Unit ready.
I think I get one more vehicle in,
Building.
just like out
On
of
hold. Cancel.
pure idiocy. I'm just like, oh,
Building.
I'll complete this flame tank. Well, there's like $900 I'm
Construction
never getting
complete.
back.
No. Yes, sir.
Because again, you
Unit
can't.
reporting.
Your vehicles are stuck on this island. I guess it's not a peninsula.
Yes, sir.
Reinforcements.
At least
have
I
arrived.
wouldn't call it a peninsula. But
Building.
Yes, sir. Moving out right away, sir. Vehicle. Yes, sir. Unit reporting.
Unit ready.
So
Yes, sir.
you have to capture a helicopter.
Reporting.
Helicopters can, as we've seen before, only carry 5 units. Whichever 5 infantry you want, really. And I believe it follows the same last out, first out. So the 5th unit in is the first unit out,
Building.
and then reverse
Unit ready.
goes.
Reporting.
For whatever reason, the game treats those vehicles as like buildings because we lose the engineers.
Yes, sir.
I forget if you can load like a regular infantry, but
Yes, sir.
whatever.
Unit reporting. Unit. Yes, sir. Unit moving out. Unit reporting. Affirmative. Waiting order. Acknowledged.
Construction complete.
Unit moving out. Acknowledged.
So $3,000 later, and I have myself a sweet
New
Temple of
construction
Nod.
options. Building.
It kind of gets its look across. I find that the model is a little tough to see sometimes. In the sense that it looks like a giant scorpion. Like it's got the legs, the tail at the back.
No, affirmative.
If you squint, you can kind of see it.
Construction complete.
Got it.
The Temple of Nod is 2 things, and the only reason why I'm building a lot of SAM sites right now is because I'm thinking, oh, maybe the A-10s or something will go destroy it. So you want to be careful. But
Primary
The-
building selected.
building gives us 2 options. One is a nuclear strike, as we've seen, and the second is MCVs. Now, sadly, an MCV can't do anything for us. Again, you cannot transport vehicles, and an MCV is a vehicle, so it can't do anything with it.
Moving out. Reporting. Affirmative.
What you can do, however,
Right away, sir.
is find this nice little hospital,
Got it.
and it also has an attached power plant for reasons. So, the way to progress in this mission is that you have to build engineers, load the engineers into helicopters, fly them to this part of the map, unload, and then capture the buildings.
Yes, sir. Moving out. Reporting.
Obviously, that's easier said than done.
Right away, sir.
Another problem is that,
Moving out.
well, we defeated a GDI base, sure,
Unit
but
ready.
we're kind of might potentially be coming up against another one.
Ready. And you got it.
Building.
Waiting order. Got it. Reporting. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Unit ready.
Yes, sir.
Unit.
Oh, and the flamethrower there glitched out and decided he wanted to just
Yes, sir.
die.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Moving out.
Building.
Now, I believe at some point I'm gonna sell some buildings because I just want to, like, I have enough units there anyways. If I really want to like defend, for some reason,
Our base is under attack.
3 SAM sites still can't take out an A-10. Or 2 A-10s, I'll be fair.
Ready and waiting. Yes, sir.
Construction
Unit
complete.
report.
So yeah, because I'm on, like,
Reporting,
quote-unquote, the defense, I'm on defense, and I'll be moving towards attacking, but not much to really do until I just decide I'm gonna get that engineering.
Acknowledged.
The AI wastes absolutely no time in putting pressure on you,
Affirmative.
because they are gonna harvest, and
GDI
they
building
are
captured.
gonna do something in order to
GDI building
just-
captured.
steamroll you.
Affirmative. Reporting. Affirmative.
Yeah?
Oh yeah, more technicians.
Awaiting order. Moving out.
Yeah? Okay.
You just know I have a really good plan for those civilians.
Yes, sir. You got it.
Construction complete. Building.
So, I should point out that
Yeah?
because we have no way of transporting vehicles, the only obvious conclusion is that we should build a base up north on the other side of the river.
Affirmative.
To do that, you have to have captured those 2 buildings.
Affirmative.
Technically, either one is fine, but you're going to want to capture both.
Acknowledged.
Mostly because, well, what happens if you lose that building, right? You get a restart. So, better off just to capture both and then build from there.
Moving out. Moving out.
Yeah? Okay. Okay. Yeah? Okay. Okay.
So, using, I don't want to say a bug, because it's not really a bug, it's more,
Yeah?
I guess, an
Okay.
exploit.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
The way that air units work is that they have to land at whatever destination you send them to. If you click a cliffside hex,
Affirmative.
Yeah?
well, the unit has to kind of juggle as to where it's going to go specifically, and in most cases,
Okay.
it'll be into
Acknowledged. Moving out.
like in an appropriate cell nearby. There's a max distance to it, but if you're in the shroud, you can do things like this, where you just deposit a vehicle. The AI is not really ever going to expect it, and voila, you can just kind of gain some free LOS. I can't quite recall why I was so happy.
Unit
Moving
ready.
out.
I think it had something to do with being a little clever. Again,
Building.
I've mentioned several times, we have rocket infantry and other stuff to shoot rockets, but mainly the rocket infantry, and a favorite tactic of mine, which is to drop some engineers and use those to effectively like attack
Moving out.
or capture a base and then deploy into it and so on.
Yes, sir.
So, because there's no defenses on the southwest side of that base, whichever it might be, might as well get a rocket infantry and some engineers. Oh, and you absolutely want to build like 2 refineries up here.
Waiting.
Otherwise, like the game is incredibly slow.
Affirmative.
Take my word for it.
Waiting orders. Yes, sir.
Oh, and this will give you guys a proper like view of how much damage stuff does or stuff takes.
Nuclear weapon
Yeah.
available.
Okay.
And we're gonna scout with some civilians by having them get shot so that the shooter can reveal
Ready.
themselves.
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Building.
So yeah, if I was smart, I would have just like
Yes, sir.
built the refineries immediately,
Acknowledged.
and not like gone with engineer, but still.
Yeah, okay, okay.
I think it's kind of funny that even selecting a unit won't show you like where its health bar is.
Lost.
I believe that gets changed in later
Yes, sir.
later
Right away, sir.
games.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Unit
Right
lost.
away, sir. Moving out.
So we can kind of see that standing in Tiberium, depending on like where you're standing, won't have the quote-unquote proper effect.
Ready and
We
waiting.
can also see that if the blossom tree is actively spewing out Tiberium, everything near it, and like basically like super adjacent to it,
Lost.
which I didn't even know was a word until now.
Unit lost.
Vehicle reporting.
Unless it's like incredibly close, it won't take a lot of damage. It'll just like tick over time. Special mention to engineers and civilians among, I think, one more, other than like technicians or whatever, the same sort of category.
Reporting.
Those units, those 2/ maybe 3 units, take
Affirmative. You got it.
enhanced damage basically, and it's most likely just because they have like smaller hitboxes or
Unit reporting.
health bars. But either way, like it's incredibly noticeable. Oh, and I think there's going to be a cut soon, so... No? Man, that's later then.
Construction complete.
So I kind of did a cut, or like a save, for several reasons.
Wait, affirmative. Affirmative.
First is that I had like played this wrong entirely, like the first go around,
Building.
like on this part.
Affirmative.
And secondly is because
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
I kind of like wasted a nuclear strike, and that's going to be an important distinction soon,
Affirmative.
like to make anyways.
Moving out.
Oh, and I also want to steal like Tiberium
Construction
from the
complete.
GI.
Primary building selected.
So at this point, I'm
Building.
close to being ready to like finally assault both bases, because as you've probably guessed, like there's 2 bases.
Unit reporting.
Oh, and I don't know why that like that Humvee's
Yes, sir.
like attack sound was glitching out.
Construction
Just
complete.
just it was.
Reinforcements have
Vehicle
arrived.
reporting.
Now, I guess one thing I could have done
Unit. No.
would have been to, after I built my Temple of Nod,
Sir. Yes, sir.
build an MCD,
Vehicle reporting.
but save it for the airstrip here.
Waiting orders.
Oh, and let it be known, for the record,
Yes,
that
sir.
GDI just blew up a hospital.
Yes, sir.
Seriously, they blew up a hospital. What the hell?
Reporting. Moving out.
Another thing that will mess you up like,
Yeah.
a lot
Moving out.
is that
Unit
the game
Okay.
reporting.
doesn't make this distinction
Reporting.
of a harvester that cannot possibly reach a refinery.
Moving out.
Lost.
So, if you're not paying attention, you're going to have refineries that are stuck trying to service nothing. Oops.
Knowledge. Moving out. Moving out. Moving out.
So it might look like there's just enough space to sneak in a stealth tank,
Building.
which was like my plan basically.
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
But sadly not the case.
Unit lost. Nuclear weapon launched.
So I kind of just guess here.
Nuclear warhead approaching.
Only thing you can really do.
Unit reporting.
The sad part is that because it was in a fog of war, you don't really get to see the effect. We'll see it later. Like, we'll have to get view on this base. But suffice to say that the nuclear strike is like the ion cannon. In
Building.
one way.
On hold.
It does do a ton of damage. However, the one thing about the nuclear strike is, well, if you've seen any nuke ever, you'll know it affects a wide area. And that fact is not lost on the developers at Westwood. Seriously, I'm just hurting for funds again.
Unit reporting.
You know, I'm sure there's
Yes, sir.
somebody out there
Yes, sir.
who might notice or maybe even complain,
Unit
like, oh, the AI sucks, like, it's not attacking, you know,
Construction
my
complete.
harvesters and such. But honestly, with the way that, like, this map is built, and the units are positioned and all that, I'm really glad the AI doesn't try to do anything sneaky like that.
Yes, moving out.
Unit lost.
Reporting away, sir.
Unit lost.
Vehicle
Oh, hey,
reporting.
I-
Acknowledged.
Forgot to cut that part out.
Unit reporting. Affirmative. Vehicle out.
Unit lost.
Well, it's okay, I lose a stealth tank to a really stupid reason, so let's try that a third
Yes,
time.
sir. Acknowledged. Vehicle reporting. Yes, sir. Moving out. Moving out. Yes, sir.
Alright, so let's not be stupid, and let's do something like a little smarter instead of just dropping 2 engineers defenseless into an enemy base and hoping for the
Unit
best.
ready.
Ready and waiting. Affirmative.
It's a slightly slower strat, but heck, I've been doing that for quite a few times now.
Unable to comply. Building in progress. Construction complete. Building.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Construction complete. Reinforcements
Waiting
have arrived.
Yes, sir. Vehicle reporting. Vehicle reporting. Yes, moving out. Reporting. Roger.
So the thing to do is bring out the rocket infantry and destroy the wall. I'm attacking the further wall just because I want to clear up more of it before the AI can fit any units to attack me and vice versa.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
But it won't really be necessary. I'm kind of also going for the same plan on the right base, except for the right base it's almost exclusively so I can sneak in a stealth tank.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now. Acknowledged. Reporting. Not a problem. Yes, sir. Awaiting orders. Yes, sir. Ready and waiting. Moving out. Moving out. Affirmative. Reporting. Vehicle reporting. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Moving out. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Construction complete.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Yes, reporting. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Reporting. Reporting. Affirmative. And waiting out.
GDI building captured. GDI building captured.
Yeah, so that power plant was never going to survive.
On hold. Unit lost.
Unit report. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Reporting. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Moving out. Moving out.
Now, the only reason why I still keep that rocket soldier around on the left side of the base, or left base, is because I'm just trying to clear up more
Building.
walls so I can put in a barracks, which is what I
On
should be
hold.
building.
Cancelled. Building.
There we go.
Yes, sir. Not a problem.
And yeah, I know it's a hand of nod. I shorthand a barracks all the time.
Yes, sir.
Construction complete.
Vehicle reported. Unit reporting. Yes, sir. Moving out.
Primary building
Ready and
selected.
waiting. Got it. You got it.
Building.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Unit reporting. Acknowledged.
Unit ready.
Yes, sir.
Building.
Unit reporting. Yes, sir.
Our base is under attack.
Wait, unit reporting. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Again, it's kind of weird that the advanced guard tower can't see me. It's like this weird, like sometimes they do, sometimes they don't.
Moving out. Reporting.
It's like something in the game's trying to taunt me.
Roger. Waiting orders. Affirmative.
I just want the game to know that I don't appreciate it.
Building.
Reporting. Yes, sir.
I'm not particularly sure why I didn't want to destroy that barracks, or I guess like take the time to shoot either the comm center or the power plant. But hey, at least I was able to bait that grenadier.
Orders. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Moving out. Vehicle reporting. Moving out. Yes, sir. Acknowledge. Unit acknowledged. Moving out. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Waiting orders. Acknowledge. Ready and waiting. Yes, sir. Waiting orders. Acknowledge. Unit report. Acknowledge. Acknowledge.
On hold. Construction complete.
Yes, sir.
Building.
Affirmative.
GDI building.
Yes, sir.
captured.
Acknowledge.
Yeah, rock and roll.
Primary building selected. Building. Unit ready.
Also, guys, seriously, like, I pulled up the thread on my phone here. Arch Wizard, seriously, I already made mention that, like, don't talk about, like, spoilers. Don't mention about the helicopter.
Building.
Yes, sir. Vehicle. Affirmative.
Like, I get it. It's multiplayer. I'm gonna be doing, like, a skirmish video, just to, like, show off stuff that we've missed. Because there's other cool stuff that we're not gonna see. But it's kinda, you know, if I'm gonna be showing off stuff, I might as well show everything off. So, you know,
Yes, sir.
it's
Affirmative.
like I'm not asking for much. Also, what I am asking for is a nuclear strike on this base.
Our base
I'm
is
not
under
exactly
attack.
sure
Nuclear
how
weapon launched.
the damage value works, like
Nuclear warhead
how
approaching.
far you are into a thing, but... Oh, and I killed Frank Lebacki again.
Reporting. Moving out. Moving out.
Unit lost.
The commander just never gets a break.
Yes, sir.
Also, I know I mentioned stuff about audio tracks and whatnot earlier. Please do not spoil this audio track. This is like legit a special thing. Don't look it up. Don't investigate. Don't anything. I'll be really pissed if somebody spoils this.
Affirmative. Ready and waiting. You got it. Waiting orders. Yes, sir. Moving out. Yes, sir. Moving out.
So a nuclear strike is able to destroy a construction yard
Reporting.
in one shot.
Unit
Ready and
lost.
Again, like, it just does a massive amount of damage, which is great.
Yes, sir. Roger.
Only problem with it
Yes, sir.
And
Sir. Reporting.
I don't know if this is a glitch or just like, you know, a single player game limitation, that sort of thing.
Unit lost. Unit lost.
Yes, moving out.
Also, seriously, A10s, like... A10s from the AI are just like too strong.
Ready and waiting.
Um,
Moving out.
Building.
nuclear strike.
GDI building
So,
captured.
there's one thing that really friggin' sucks about nuclear strikes. And that's that in this level,
Building.
for whatever reason, you only get one nuke.
Wait, sir.
I
You got. Yes,
I
sir.
tried in an earlier run to just like build
Unit ready.
to sell a Temple of Nod, which doesn't give you a game failure, which is strange.
Unit
Unit.
lost.
Yes, sir.
I'm not sure if that was true in the original DOS version. But I sold the Temple of Nod and built another one, thinking, okay, maybe if I just rebuild it, I'll get the same sort of
Building.
like I'll get the same like ability, quote
Yes,
unquote.
sir.
Unfortunately, that's not the
Construction
case.
complete.
If as soon as you use that nuke,
Ready.
that's it. That's your one chance at happiness.
Right away, sir.
Building. GDI building captured. Unit ready.
Reporting. Moving out. Moving out.
Building.
Ready and waiting.
GDI building captured.
Yes, sir.
Building.
Acknowledged. Yes, sir.
Unit ready.
So it's not enough in this mission to just destroy all buildings. You have to kill everything on this map.
Ready and waiting. Moving out. Yes, sir.
This kind of puts us in a,
Base is under attack.
I don't want to say like awkward position, but we do kind of have to scour the map for certain things.
On hold. Building.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That being said, maybe I'm actually going to show off how cool flame tanks are again.
Moving out.
Building.
Yes, sir.
Reinforcements have arrived.
Yes, sir. Vehicle report. Unit report. Moving out. Reporting. Moving out. Vehicle report. Yes,
Construction complete. Building.
yes, sir. Acknowledged.
Reinforcements
Yes,
have
sir.
arrived.
Unit report. Yes. Unit reporting. Yes, sir. Unit reporting. Waiting orders. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Waiting orders. Moving out. Acknowledged. Moving out.
Unit
Yes,
lost.
sir. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Unit reporting. Moving out.
So yeah, at this point we're basically on cleanup duty.
Yes, sir.
There's not much else to do other than,
Yes, sir.
you know, making sure that they can't call in A10s on us. Because other than that, there's no danger. I don't particularly remember why I have an obelisk
Construction complete.
like
Yes,
90% built.
yes, sir. Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Reinforcements have arrived.
Ready and wait. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Waiting orders. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Knowledge. Moving out.
Building.
I'm trying to figure out if that mammoth tank survived a nuclear strike or if it was built after the fact.
Affirmative. You got it.
Construction complete.
I don't think I want to put too much thought into it.
Unit reporting out. Reporting. You got it. Right away, sir. Yes, sir. Moving out. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Moving out. Yes, sir.
Now, what I could have done,
Yes, sir.
probably should have done, is build that obelisk that I have made up in the top left base, just so I can wipe out those infantry units just across the wall.
Yes, sir.
Man, 4 strikes from an obelisk. Mammoth tanks, you just don't want to mess with them.
Yes, sir. Ready and waiting. Right away, sir. Reporting. Moving out. Unit reporting. Affirmative. Right away, sir. Yes, sir. Moving out. Yes, sir. Affirmative.
I don't recall if I've ever tried, but I don't believe capturing a comm center, a GDI comm center, gives you A10s.
Affirmative. Knowledge. Moving out.
Which is kind of a shame, because, I mean, let's face it, we've seen GDI murder innocents before, so why is it any different when we call them in?
Right away, sir. Knowledge. Moving out. Unit reporting. Got it. Awaiting. Moving out. Reporting. Right away, sir. Reporting. Moving out. Roger. Reporting. Reporting. Affirmative.
Also, I just want to point it out, my guard towers are never that
Moving
great.
out. Roger. Yes,
Like,
sir.
I don't know what the AI does to get, like,
Knowledge.
2 single shots on
Yes.
infantry and murder them immediately.
Roger. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Knowledge.
GDI building captured.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Wait. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Sadly, we can't build our own mammoth tanks.
Unit lost.
Yes, sir. Knowledge.
Unit
Yes, sir.
lost.
Oh, and that's why having, like, flame tanks kind of suck.
Building on site.
Again, with the friendly fire, it's like,
Building.
Waiting order. Affirmative.
game, come on, stop giving me this crap, like, ability
Unit.
to murder my own men.
Moving out. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Unit. Yes, sir. Reporting. Moving out. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Moving out. Yes, sir.
So, I thought it was kind of suspect that there's this path that seems to lead up north.
Building.
I just figure, oh, I know, maybe there's like a small little like outpost in the middle of nowhere, and the game's gonna make me like try to figure it out.
Unit reporting. Yes, sir. Right away, sir. Ready and waiting. Right away, sir.
Like, you know, maybe there's like an other like comm center that calls in A10s, we'll say.
Yes, sir.
So I figure, why not? I'll bring some units across. Won't be an issue.
Reporting. Moving out. Yes, sir. Ready and waiting. Ready and waiting. Got
Lost.
it. Unit. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Vehicle reporting. Yes, sir. Unit reporting. Ready and waiting.
And as it turns out, there's nothing here. It's just a path from one side to the other.
Reporting. Moving out.
It's not
Right away. Yes, sir.
particularly useful. I mean, I guess it's... I guess if you take the right base, it's better. Also, I don't know why they have all these engineers here.
Mission accomplished.
Y'all son of a bitch. Just do it up. Just do it up.
So, thanks for watching the Nod campaign. Thank you, Michael Cole, for this impressive remix of Just Do It Up.
Difficult. Y'all son of a bitch. And you, Larry, I saw you what you did when you dropped yourself the other day. You're gonna go on with
And to answer my own question, no, it is not a custom song.
Just do it up. It's more like a isn't that what it is at the end? A great future, huh? A little to the left, honey.
Your efforts have landed us here, my faithful friend. The temple is complete, and we are about to embark upon our greatest exploit. For now, relax, and watch as my netrunners dance through the web of cyberspace. Once inside, the world is at my fingertips. Begin.
Welcome to the Global Defense Initiative Orbital Defense Matrix.
The world. Where to strike? Where will the world most keenly feel the blade of GDI treachery? You have done much to aid the Brotherhood towards this final victory. The choice, my friend, is yours.
Today, angry political leaders of the G7 nations issued a formal statement denying complicity in last Tuesday's tragedy involving the most famous address in the world, 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue, Washington, D.C.'s renowned White House. The death toll in what some are calling an unwarranted attack passed 600 today as rescue workers and United Nations teams continued to sift through the rubble, unearthing 12 more bodies from what was once the seat of Western democracy. U.S. President Robert Fielding, safe at Camp David at the time of the explosion, reiterated his support of the UN statement, despite growing opposition to global defense initiative policies. Fielding labeled the disaster, quote, a mind-numbing accident. GDI Task Force Commander General Mark Shepard, accompanied by U.S. Attorney General Nancy Griffith, testified before a Senate congressional hearing earlier today. Shepard, once the golden boy of international diplomacy, wilted under intense cross-examination from hostile senators, demanding explanations for the blast that leveled the historic landmark and sparked an international debate on the need for more effective safeguards in the age of high-tech warfare. Defensive but unapologetic, Shepard admitted he had no idea how security access for GDI's top-secret orbital space program would have been.
Chronicle